The Kick and Makeup MMA show is brought to you by Neon Energy Drink. Light it up.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Well, I'm going. Go on, then. Can I kick it?
What's up, everybody? This is the Kick and Makeup show. I'm the American Hybrid, Nick Cunningham. With me, as always, Jeremy JD Dorsey. And we are still live from the living room.
Once again, this is the last living room episode. I just got through telling Nick that I can't keep doing this. So this is the last living room episode. So we'll be back hopefully analog.
Yes.
Another week or two, so we can get this back to normal.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you find a clip, the one where it's like for the beginning of this show, like,
How you living? What? 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 How you living? What?
room, and then we split the room instead? I thought of that last night.
I got it.
Okay.
I will do it.
Because I was just like, that'll be fun, man. We can, I don't know. I had a day trip yesterday to Chicago. And so I finished the script last night when I got home. So this is going to be a fun one. There's some, so I have some things I thought of. But before we get into all that, we got to give a shout out to Analog Arcade Bar.
Yes.
Our home. We will be back, hopefully, like you said, next week.
Next episode.
You guys can go anytime you want. You don't have to just go on Mondays when we shoot the show. You guys can go whenever you want. 302 Brady Street, Davenport, Iowa. Downtown Davenport. Check them out. They're awesome. I miss them. I want to go back.
I need to get out the house. That's how I'm feeling.
So when you leave the house, is it like, are you gonna be like this, like hitting the sun?
I'm gonna a layer of skin is gonna melt off of me.
Like
in
in True Blood. Did you guys ever watch True Blood when you step outside and
show.
the flame, you start to crinkle and and ash?
Yep, that's me. That's exactly what it's gonna
Get
be.
that first layer off that's been in here.
Right, the indoor layer is gonna burn off and then I'll be back to normal.
Yes. Can't wait to see that.
Oh man, who wouldn't? I'll tweet it or something.
So this is our sponsor, obviously, Neon Energy Drink. www.glowenergy.neonenergy.com. That was like a soft, creepy light it up. Yeah, light it up.
Light it up.
I was just saying too, I legitimately like these, man. I am not lying. Today again, I feel like I always need these when I come in.
Yeah, I know.
A caffeine addiction.
It's part of the routine, man. That's what it is. That's what I 100% believe it is.
Yes, I 100% genuinely like these and appreciate Neon Energy Drink. They taste good. They're good to us. They're good to you guys. Check them out. So yeah, man, let's get the particulars out of the way. There was a few things that happened this weekend.
Yes, there were. Not a few things, just
It was
probably the most eventful weekend that I can ever think of.
From Friday to today, the most that's ever happened in MMA happened.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about most of it.
Yes.
Okay, so www.kickandmakeup is the website. Check it out. See our past shows, past pictures, interview series, all that good stuff. Kick and Makeup Facebook page. Add yourself into our group. Pretty easy to do. I feel like that might be going to the wayside, so we need to revamp it, do something. That's my fault too, man. I don't check the Facebook group page as much.
It's hard. I'm not a Facebook fan anymore. I know,
man.
Ugh.
So if you guys are on the group page, come on over to Twitter at Hybrid MMA. At Jeremy JD Dorsey is your new one.
Yes.
Nice. And the show's at Kick and Makeup. Check us out there. I feel like we're doing good on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We just jumped over 400 followers on Twitter, man. That's awesome, man.
You know me, man. It took me 3 years to get on board, but all right, here we go. And then Instagram doing pretty good. And then obviously you're watching our show on YouTube, so please like and subscribe to this.
Yeah, so we jumped up a bunch of subscribers too, man.
Nice, man.
That's real cool. Oh, and shout out to all the haters on Twitter, man. Been getting a few of those recently too. I like it. I like it. That just means that you love and appreciate what we do. Yeah, deep down inside, you really love us.
You like us.
You just want to hate, but you love us. It's
okay.
Cool.
You want us to give you a shout out? Maybe we'll just give all the shout outs a literal, or all the haters a literal shout out.
Maybe we should. Maybe nah.
No, we were
nah,
not going
fuck 'em.
to. No.
Fuck them.
Yep. So that's the
But keep hating. Keep
keep on hating. I had nothing. I was gonna sing after
and
that.
just so you know, like I'm the one that controls the Kick and Make Up Twitter page, so there's no confusion. Don't think that it's Nick, it's me. So if you got beef, you're talking to me. So go ahead, go for it.
Woo! That's how this show's gonna be today. All right. So, like we said, I was gonna end with the show with this, but we're gonna just get this out of the way. So weird, man. So we gotta give a little nod to Muhammad Ali.
Oh man,
Have to.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Passed away
Definitely.
last Friday night. So quick too, man. Like I was at work and saw something. Muhammad Ali's in the hospital. It's critical. And in my head, I'm like, he's gonna pass away.
Right.
I think this.
Yep.
I don't know. I just felt it. And hours later, quickly passed away. Respiratory issues he went in with, but he's been battling Parkinson's for years now. So. Man, I don't know. I was trying to think of think of your best Muhammad Ali memory, or just what do you think was most memorable for you being a Muhammad Ali fan?
I think that unfortunately for us at our age, we came in at the end of, well, his career is pretty much over already, and we sort of got the remnants of everything that he was. But just to go back and think how influential he was for the black community and for the Islamic community, it's monumental to think about it in those sort of characteristics. But I think a lot of people fail to realize that on top of everything else, this was a regular human being, a regular man, and he had a family and he had kids, and those are the people who I think about. And just to see the way that they handled his death with class, like a lot of times you see when celebrities die, you see the bickering start almost instantly, and we haven't had any of that to my knowledge. So it just goes to show what type of man he was and what type of legacy he's leaving behind. And just I appreciate hearing all the stories from just about everybody in sports, to see the tributes go across every line of news, sports, entertainment, anything, and everyone has paid some sort of tribute to him. So I'm glad that we get an opportunity to do so as well.
I think that was the biggest thread I've seen on social media in a long time. I mean, usually when something big happens, you see a few, and then there's your friends, backyard party, and then there's other stuff, and then you see some weird stuff. But this was like you were scrolling through, and it was just Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali. So for me, I think I love it that he was almost like the first Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey. He was one of the first fighters, or one of the most popular fighters that really talked shit and backed it up, and was controversial and didn't care. And he kind of paved the way for those type of fighters. Now, obviously, I feel like he might be a little bit of a better human being than some than some of the people that have adopted that style of trash talking today. But obviously, paved the way. I went to Louisville and got to check out the Muhammad Ali Museum. Ridiculously awesome. Just so cool, man. There was a thing there that had his shadow, like a video of his shadow that you could shadow box with. You could literally shadow, and then
that's sick.
It was so cool, man. Like I was losing my, you know me. I was running around this museum, losing my mind. And people that were with me, they like boxing, but they're like, dude, we can leave you here and pick you back up if you want. So that was cool. And then just Ali, the movie Ali from Will Smith. I don't really like Will Smith a whole lot, but that's one of my favorite movies. I think he did a great job, a perfect job, depicting the real Ali, and just that movie made me more of a fan of Ali too.
And like I was saying, that sort of gave, that movie sort of gave us our glimpse for our age group into what he was. And I know that there is, there's so much more, to him and his story. And it's just unfortunate that I feel like it's the ultimate sign of respect when you pay homage to somebody once they pass away. But I kind of wish that, there was some arbitrary moment or date or birth date where someone you can sort of pay tribute to their life while they're alive,
Yeah.
like, this tribute and this outpouring of love and support I wish was shown, 2-3 years ago when he would have been able to be there for it. So I really wish that there was something that, people that we can start doing as a people, as a species, and start recognizing and paying gratitude to people before they pass away. I mean, I do definitely think that it's a great form of respect, and I know and I believe that he's able to feel that love and respect, even in the different plane.
Yep. So we give a final nod, bow to, we should have some props. I told Munson we needed props. We need props. So right now we just need that. Cue the prop. But obviously from Kick and Makeup, a big a shout out and remembering R.I.P. to Muhammad Ali,
the man that started the term the greatest
Yeah.
of all time. That's
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So then keeping with the theme, weirdly, man, so then yesterday, Kimbo Slice passes away.
Right.
What? Like that? All right. So, yeah, you like I said, I was driving yesterday. You texted me right when I got home. Like, I think Kimbo Slice passed away, and I'm like, let me check this out. Yep. Went to the hospital. 42. Went to the hospital. Haven't disclosed why. Passes away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's set in. The weirdness of that and the abruptness and quickness of that. So
Right.
gotta give gotta mention that on the show too. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. I don't feel that it's as easy to sort of eulogize him as it is someone like Muhammad Ali.
Right,
But
right.
It's funny how they, Kimbo people kind of make fun of Kimbo Slice to some degree, and we have too in the past, just on the show, as far as him not being a all around technical MMA fighter, but people sort of move past the point with how he revolutionized, social media with the way. I mean, this dude got on through backyard fights on YouTube.
And the biggest episodes of Tough were the Kimbo Slice
They
season.
sure were.
The biggest Bellator cards were the Kimbo Slice cards. So you can't deny his entertainment value. That's why I put here one of the most charismatic. I'm leaving. That was embarrassing. Because I don't have enough neon in it. I'm DJing too, so I'd like to be the human DJ, the most charismatic.
I'll throw like a little ficky in there or something.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, yeah, the best in the sport in that regard. So, just weird, man. And like you said too, put backyard fighters on the map, which I don't know how much you want them on the map. You want one on the map, and that was him.
Yep.
So that's good.
And I mean, but it's not something that's universally, recognized or anything like that. And I think that his gruff sort of exterior made people probably not like him quite as much. I think people were more intimidated by his presence. But everything that I've read over the past 24 hours, or man, less than that, probably 12, 14 hours at this point. But everything that I've read has said that he was, a kind man, someone who was, very willing to be there for his fans and to be accessible. So it's really unfortunate to hear about him passing away. And I hope that the rumors and stuff that are sort of swirling about, heart failure and possible, steroid use and all that stuff might have had something to do with it. I hate to speculate on things like that, but I really hope that isn't, what it is.
And there's going to be a tidal wave of repercussions if that is the case too. So we shall see more from that later.
And I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but if that does end up being the case, we've went in and discussed a lot of things concerning steroid use concerning Bellator specifically. And I believe that if this is what's going on or what has happened, that there's a lot of people who are going to be involved in the fallout of all of this. So yeah, I'm hoping that it was just natural causes, but if it isn't, man, there's going to be a hailstorm of things coming out.
Right.
So.
Natural causes at 42. Okay. So, shifting gears. We had to get that out of the way. So here we go. Role play time. Last episode, I said, "What the Brock?" And then now it's official. So you say Brock Lesnar's okay. You say this. Brock Lesnar's back, and you say.
Okay. Where's
right
it
there.
at?
You say that right there.
Brock Lesnar is back and on the UFC 200 card.
Say what? So I just wanted to do that so bad since I wrote it yesterday.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Say Whuuuunt, also known as Mark Hunt, also known as the person that the UFC gave for his welcome back fight. Hey, Brock Lesnar, welcome back after 2 years, 3 years. How long? 2014, maybe 11. I think it was longer than that. I think it was 2011, and then something else happened in 2014. But okay, so 2011. So you get Mark Hunt. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I have first round knockout by Mark Hunt to Lesnar.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing.
Is that
watching
everybody?
This.
Does everybody have that?
I don't. That was my biggest thing watching this. When they first announced it, shout out to Ariel Helwani. When they first announced it, I saw the TBD and I thought that it was going to be someone. Either with the initials TBD, some random just off the street.
Terrence Bartholomew Davis.
Right. I thought, it was just going to be his first fight and he was going to go in there and get smashed. But I thought they were going to give him somebody who was a little bit less threatening.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man.
They're not even going to stand and trade.
No.
Because, okay, what I had here is that, anybody that knows Brock knows that he cannot take a punch and does not like to take a punch on top of that. So it's not even that he can't take it. He just doesn't. He just shells up. Shelled up from Kane, shelled up from everybody. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter at all. It's just in that
that's
respect.
His style. That's what he does.
He doesn't take a punch. He curls up. That's exactly Mark Hunt's thing, is to just headhunt. So I don't know how. My recipe was he comes out like a rhino, like he did for Heath Herring, just sprints from across the cage and just tries to tackle Mark Hunt over. That's throw a shoulder into him and just knock him down,
like WWE style, spear him.
Yeah, clothesline him. Can you clothesline people in MMA?
Probably can.
I feel like why couldn't you?
Yeah,
because you could do trip
Yeah.
trip. So why couldn't you just clothesline him? I mean,
somebody down.
it's gonna. Other than that, I don't know how he wins. Hammer fists on the ground is Brock's thing. That's pretty good. Those are ginormous steel lunchboxes.
Right.
So I don't know. What do you think, man?
I think that it's a mismatch. I give Brock credit for taking this fight. If he's able to win by whatever means necessary, I will give him even more credit, because combining his style against his opponent's style, against his layoff from competitive fighting, that is not a good recipe for him picking up a win in this situation. But I give him all the credit in the world, and the money must have been really good to decide to do this, because this. And I mean, I guess there really isn't too much that he can lose, because he's gonna go back to WWE,
Right.
And
the next month.
Right, the next month
For
so,
SummerSlam, right?
Yep.
Look at me over here.
Man, hey, I give you a little bit of credit, just a little bit, just a little.
Because
bit.
it's SummerSlam and it's in the summer. It's literally called.
just a little bit, because you paid attention to what was being reported, and I give you credit for that. But don't try to act like you're a WWE fan. You didn't watch last night.
SummerSlam coming in August 20th on pay-per-view. Brock had an awesome interview yesterday on ESPN.
It was.
I taped it. I DVR'd it, came home, watched it. It was long. It's like 15 minutes.
Yep.
It was awesome. He did a great job. But he kind of bullshitted a little bit on there. He said that it was the diverticulitis. This is going to be Stutterbug Day. Stuttering Stanley. So it said it was his disease. Let's see, I just switched it. Yeah, the intestine disease. His colon disease. That was why he lost before. I'm like, dude, no, it wasn't. Because at the end of the day, yes, it had something to do with your training, but you don't like to be hit. Like when you get punched and you shell up, that's not from your diverticulitis. That's from you getting hit by Cain Velasquez and it hurting and you going down. Some people just can't take a shot. Right. Like, and he's one of those. He can deliver them, but I don't think he can take them.
No.
So I was like, nah. And then he kept saying, like, I'm a prize fighter. He's just sound like he doesn't even care if he wins this.
Right.
I'm gonna get paid. Everybody's getting paid. I took this fight. I want to do this, which I believed. He's missed it, which I believed. But he just kept saying, "I'm a prize fighter. I fight for the money." I was like, "All right, man."
I kind of got
honest.
I kind of and that was one thing that I appreciated about it was that I feel that he views himself like a mercenary at this point, and if that's what it is and that's what you do, go ahead and own it. Like there's a radio show that I watch or I listen to all the time, and the host on there always says to people and people that he interviews and people that he discusses to live your truth, and that it is exactly what he's doing. Like, live your truth. If that's what he feels and that's what motivates him, fine. I don't give him a high chance of winning this fight, but I will say that he definitely has a chance. Not like Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber style, but
right. I love. How's that close?
You're saying?
So you're saying there's a chance? Like, how is that quote still relevant 20 years later? And right now, I love it though.
Yeah, but I don't. I think he has more than a shot.
That's the thing with heavyweights though too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always say, there's a puncher's chance, and that's kind of just a cliche saying. But with heavyweights, there really is. If Brock clips him behind the ear, or right in the sweet spot of the chin, the jaw, he's going. It's a knockout shot. Mm-hmm. Or lands a knee. Mm-hmm. Brock Lesnar knee. Mm-hmm. That's like 5 of your knees and 10 of my knees. Like, I mean, it's just like, so those are that can
one
happen.
of my surgically repaired knees,
or one of your bionic knees. Yes,
that's a super knee right now.
Yeah, so you're right, man. There's a higher chance that he can win this than other people maybe that would be going up against Mark Hunt.
In the same circumstances, there aren't too many fighters who I would rather see take this fight after a layoff and their style. Like, if you had to pick somebody to do it, why not Brock? And I mean, he fought at 100. I think that's cool to see him also fight at 200.
I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan. Mm-hmm. I realized that yesterday. I liked when he speaks. I'm like, you're a good public speaker. And then I read his book that he wrote. That was really good. I just like he was a cool champion. He looked like a champion, so I like that.
And with his WWE run, they don't let him talk at all. Like, he has Paul Heyman, who's his mouthpiece, and he is a great mouthpiece, but Brock doesn't get a chance to talk or show his personality at all. And I think in that little, 15 minutes or so, you got to see a little bit of his personality and see what makes him tick. And I love it when fighters allow you to come in a little bit, and especially somebody like him who you don't really get the opportunity to see as much, especially in recent years.
So awesome. Big announcement. The big announcement. It was Brock Lesnar. Other big announcement, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2 seems to be official for UFC 202 on
Shout
August
out to
20th.
Ariel.
Yeah. This means no Mayweather. I'm just keeping quiet. You said to keep quiet, so I'm just keeping quiet. That means no Mayweather fight in September.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Woo!
I just want to know, apparently that had to be really, really, really close to happening, because there were a lot of people who I trust in the industry of sports and sports news who were 100% like, yeah, this is going to happen. And to see it not happen, I wonder what kind of made it fall through.
They said it's still, there's obviously if it's Mayweather, he likes to fight in May and September. So they said it won't happen until next May 17, if it does, or there's still a chance for it maybe in December, which I don't know what would be December for that, but I don't know what happened that made it just. I mean, maybe everybody just went home, was like, no, 'cause it's money. I don't know what happened.
And I mean, like, even when we were discussing it before, we talked about how the timetable didn't line up. It didn't work. And I think at the very end, that's probably what did it.
I feel like there was a contract, too, that was made with the first fight that said if Diaz wins, he's guaranteed a second fight. So, or if he, whatever, there's whatever happens in this fight, there's guaranteed a second fight. And that was, like, signed. Right. So maybe somebody reminded everybody, like, hey, I don't care about this Mayweather fight. It can happen, but first, this one's going to happen.
Right.
And this one makes sense. And this one, so maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, even if that, knowing the situation and knowing how things can, be adjusted, I'm sure that there probably was something there that could have been adjusted if it needed to be, if the money was right, or if, maybe the UFC would gotten a bigger cut. But, yeah, something probably fell through.
Yeah.
And, like we were saying, it only really makes sense right now for that fight, that rematch to happen. And, depending on that outcome, you're going to have a whole litany of other issues with trying to schedule Mayweather and McGregor again. So.
I like it. I want to see it again. Everybody wants to see it again. We'll break it down later about what we think is going to happen. Oh, my God, man. When this next one came up, I was losing my mind. Number 3 ranked Rose Namajunas is going to fight number 6 ranked and 9-0 undefeated fighter Karolina Kowalkiewicz at UFC 201 on July 30th. Bro, come on. Come on, man.
Yes.
If you guys don't know Karolina K at this point, she's had 2 fights in the UFC, pretty dominant. Last one was a decision win, correct? I think unanimous decision win. The first one was she just picked apart her opponent disgustingly.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a big fan. If she beats Rose, she skyrockets to the top, man.
Oh, man.
But which Rose do you get? Which Rose do you get? Do you get the Rose with Paige Van Zandt, or do you get the Rose that we just saw versus Tisha Torres, which was just okay? When I say I mean great, but I mean in this situation, it was okay.
I think it was a situation in that one where she, and I say Rose, really respected Tisha and respected her ability. I don't think she's going to come into this fight necessarily respecting Karolina's ability the way she should, which is going to lead to a situation for Rose, I think. Yeah, I mean, we've had the benefit of being able to see Karolina before in person, and she is everything that she looks like she is on TV, and more.
Just the I remember you and me. We keep talking about the stare down or the stoic presence before she fought. She didn't move.
Nothing.
Nothing. Like, you fight in like a minute. Just so you know.
Nothing.
Hey, you sleeping?
And that was, I mean, and like you said, we keep going back to that, but being there in person and seeing that and just being like, dude, she's not like moving, she's not smiling, she's barely blinking, and she's about to fight. And then she walked out and totally destroyed her opponent. Like, that's kind of scary to me. Right. That's scary when someone can, either be that focused or that crazy that they have nothing going on, or it looks like they have nothing going on their face, no facial expression, and they go out there and dominate the way that she did. So,
July 30th.
That's a great fight.
I've just thrown in my hat for July for MMA. I guess we're just watching the best MMA all of July, and I'm okay with that. Yep. That card is Lawler and Woodley. Main event. Demetrius Johnson, Wilson Reis for the flyweight title. Cool. I mean,
we haven't even talked about the UFC Chicago card yet.
No, we haven't. We'll have to do that next show probably.
Man,
I mean, because we already, you guys know all the announcements. We've said that it's home on it and Teixeira and Johnson and everything. So we'll break that down more. We're still in the announcements.
July is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
So before we get into what we do on the show, we got one last, rumor or announcement. CM Punk will. Let me see my man. Whatever. Got one more thing. CM Punk will fight Mickey Gall on the same card of the Nate Diaz card in August 20th on UFC 202. All right. So, what we do on the Kick and Make Up show, I don't have anything else to say about that. So we won't.
Either.
We'll talk more about it next show or not. So. This is how the show works. If this is the first time you've been here, hello. That was the longest announcements and rumors we've ever done in the history of Kick and Make Up. It is now 3 p.m. and we are so hungry. So high kick of the week, best thing that's gone on in MMA. Low kick of the week, the worst thing. That's some bull kick. It's just some bullshit going on. We throw a couple extra segments in.
Icky.
I'm on a little bit of sleep. The neon needs the. Can we do neon IVs?
Maybe.
Just in my forehead.
I think UFC and MMA kind of ban those though. So I don't know if we can do them. Does that extend to media?
No, it doesn't extend it. I think it's fine. We'll try it next week. Scare everybody. Just come on the show and I've got neon flowing through my forearm. Is that even safe? I don't know. Probably.
I'm just hanging up. Yeah.
Neon's fuck. You know what?
Yeah.
You guys are
all right, guys. Yeah, you're doing too much now.
Highest kick. The highest kick.
Highest of high kicks.
The highest of high kick goes to Michael Bisping for knocking out Luke Rockhold and winning the UFC middleweight championship. Oh my God, man. We joked about it.
We did.
Even the weekend, I remember telling somebody at work too, I'm like, dude, this is the weekend of goofy shit. And it was the weekend of something. But I was like, with this card, something goofy's going to happen. And I wanted to. I want to talk about something goofy. And this was something goofy happened. But it wasn't that goofy. It made sense of why it happened.
Yep.
Rockhold shouldn't have gone toe-to-toe with Bisping, right?
Rockhold obviously completely underestimated anything that Bisping had. See, this is what I don't quite understand about people once they get their title, or maybe I do. Maybe I do get it. You fight all that time to climb up. You fight, you claw, and you battle to get your shot. You get your opportunity against Weidman, and you beat him, and you get the belt. You realize your dream. Then you have, you're set up to fight Weidman again. He ends up backing out because of injury, and then you get Bisping, who, if you stack them next to each other, you would think that Rockhold would win 9 times out of 10. Obviously, Rockhold, and looking back now, looking at the interview, looking at the way he was talking before the fight, looking at the way he talked after the fight. He completely underestimated him, and I don't get how you do that once you battle and you fight all that time to finally get to the top of the pile. Then you get it, and then you say, well, this guy can't touch me anyway, so I'm gonna slack. I'm gonna kind of counter my own point, but maybe it's because you sort of get to that point, and that's what separates the legendary champions from people who are just another champion, is that those guys that are legendary never lose that drive. They never lose that determination. They never feel like they're on top and they're there to stay. And maybe that's what it is. I think we well, go ahead. Yeah,
I was just thinking too, this was an easy win for Rockhold, and I'm not saying any trash talk
not at all, no.
for Bisping at all, because me, I love Michael Bisping. I've liked him for a long time. But I just thought the recipe was in bold, giant font. Take him down. Shoot and take him down. He didn't shoot one time on Bisping. And I'm saying, I don't understand why, because he didn't want to, Bisping's not throwing knees, really. He's not known for that, really. So you take him down. You would have probably took him down, and then you do a GSP, I guess. You just ground and pound. You lay and pray. You wear him down, and had that happened, I think he would have, the last time one arm submitted him, or one arm guillotined the guy. Right. It's not even a move. So you made up your own move on the ground last time.
He didn't want to mess up his spray tan, so he didn't take him down.
I just was like, wow, you really. And for me, I think Michael Bisping's one of the best boxers in MMA. So
And you don't
just
give a boxer a shot.
and traded in the middle of the cage. Like I was like, oh, even I would have attempted to take Michael Bisping down, and I hate wrestling like, in MMA. So I was just like, oh man, this was his fight to lose, and to watch them at the press conference afterwards, watch them talk like, dude, I like this rivalry. I want to see another one. I think it's real.
That's real. That's real. That's some real angst.
I like it.
and
I like
anger.
seeing him mad about it. I like seeing him say he's gonna do something again. Like now you got 1-1. The trilogy has to end some point.
Oh yeah.
Now I want to see what happens when you do take him seriously. Like you know, is it a better
no,
fight?
no
or-
excuses this next go around. I mean, he was a total dick afterwards, and Bisping, to his credit, and of course he won, but to his credit, he was trying to be somewhat respectful, but Rocco wasn't having any of it.
No. So, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but it's understandable. He was bitter about losing, so I guess I get that. But yeah, incredible performance by Bisping. So glad that a night that we kind of felt could have some upsets was able to land probably the biggest one that was there. So
Do we see Bisping in Weidman now? Did you ever
No.
think we'd be saying that?
no, the next fight that should happen should be Rockhold and Bisping again. There should be there should be, how they talk about immediate rematches, like UFC 203 should be them.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to.
End of August.
I want to. I want to see that.
Yep. That's what it should
I
be.
don't think that's gonna happen because Weidman's gonna say something, and New York's coming up, so it's gonna be Weidman and Bisping
You're
main
right.
event in New York.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
It's time frame,
You're right.
and the winner of that gets Rockhold.
You're
Or
right.
winner of that fights Rockhold. I
Does
guess.
Rockhold fight in between then?
Yes, I feel like so. What? That's November. Is that in the New York?
New York is November.
So from now to November, that's enough time for another fight.
Yep.
So yeah, so Rockhold is the co-main event of that fight versus Jacare, and then
Rockhold doesn't want that fight.
Rockhold and Jacare co-main event, Bisping and Weidman main event, and then the winner of the co-main event gets the winner of the main event.
No, see, if you do it that way, you
Look at that.
you run the major risk of Rockhold not beating Jacare, and then you
That's
never
what-
get Bisping and
So
Rockhold again.
that probably, I want that to happen. If you look at the rankings, that's what should happen.
That's how it should go. Yes.
But we're forgetting somebody. I don't even know who we're forgetting. Dan Henderson. All right. So, yeah, that's the biggest story, of the week. It did get, knocked down a few pegs with some other stuff going on, but that should be the biggest story of the freaking weekend. So hats off to Bisping, man. That's awesome. He finally did his thing.
yeah, man. I was
Lived his
real happy to
destiny,
see that.
as he says.
Oh man.
As he said, yeah.
Just
So,
to see
yeah.
somebody work so long to get it.
I like it,
and
man.
then to finally get it, man.
I think they said it's England's first champion too, which for me, I'm quarter English. I love that. Gonna go out and buy
Yep.
some tea and biscuits today and celebrate.
Crumpets.
I don't even know what a crumpet is.
Okay.
A biscuit. Biscuit's just a cookie in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Fish and chips.
fish and chips. I love some fish and chips, man.
I want to go to England.
Me too, man.
Somebody send us to
London.
England.
Can
Yeah,
somebody
let's
send
go.
us some tickets to London, please?
Yes.
To the O2 Arena, right? It's where-
Yeah.
All right. That's our next trip, man.
Okay.
Cover it. All right.
UFC London.
Kohai kick, and I'm so mad that I didn't. I saw this little gong that was like $5
get one.
on Amazon. I was like, I gotta get this, and then I got distracted and I forgot to get it. But I want the little gong Kohai kick. It's a little old, but I still gotta give some shout out to Cody Garbrandt for his knockout over Thomas Almeida in the UFC Fight Night a little bit of over a week ago. Ridiculously awesome main event. Dude's scary. He crawled up the cage when he won at like a spider. Like just real weird. That was, and then so John Dotson made a statement that he'll go back up to fight bantamweight and fight him because everybody's like, well, who's he fighting now? Like, what do we do? And Dotson was right there. Boom, I'll fight him. I'd love that. Can we see that?
Oh, man.
Can we see that?
Yeah, if it's up to me, yes.
Okay,
I
thank
just
you.
booked it.
No, so
Just
we
booked
did.
it.
All right, we're seeing that. Yes. All right.
Yeah, that was a great fight. There's something about Garbrandt that makes me like him. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not necessarily personality. It's not necessarily look. It's just his fighting style is pleasing to watch.
Jesus, man.
And to me, he's one of those guys that he's past the up and coming point now, where he's, you know, over the next 2 years or so, he could be the next like big star in the entire UFC. Like he has that look, he has that ability, and I'm really expecting to see big things out of him. Him fighting Dotson is very scary though. Like that's a heck of a fight, man. That's a heck of a fight.
It is, but I mean, I like it. They're giving,
I do too.
like we said, it's, you know, these people say they're ready and they want these fights. Give them these fights.
Yeah.
Give them the fights they want.
Yep.
You know, we as the fans and people on the outside are like, okay, buddy. I mean, obviously you're gonna say you can beat everybody,
Right.
You know, but you can't beat everybody. Everybody can't beat everybody, or else there'll be no losers. So, but if some of these people want these fights, shit, give it to them.
And
see
I-
what happens.
I
Test your strength.
Exactly, and I like seeing more and more guys, and this was something that I was kind of against. I would say, you know, maybe a few years back, but seeing guys be willing to move through the weight classes to fight and make better fights like that. In the beginning, I didn't like that, but now that I'm seeing more of it, I really like it, and I like that people aren't afraid to sort of say, all right, well, I know you're not at my weight, but I'll go up to where you're at. You know, like that says a lot for, you know, somebody like Dotson, and he totally strikes me as the type of person who would say something like
Yeah.
that too.
So awesome fight night. I like these fight nights, man. On the Sundays, I tell you that. There's another fight night coming up on a Wednesday. I think the Wednesday after we get back from Vegas, there's like a random fight night right after awesome weeknight cards. Do you have a Coco kick?
I do.
Do it.
Yes, Coco.
That's the Cocoa Puffs. You point to your face. You point to your face. I eat cereal.
Yep.
Coco kick. Coco high kick.
Coco high kick goes to Alex Caceres, man. His fight at 199, and I mean, it was, I believe it kicked off not the pre-show, but the
Fight Pass.
No, it wasn't Fight Pass. It's after Fight Pass. Oh, it was Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, the
It's
prelims.
Yeah, the prelims.
Yeah, yes.
It kicked off the prelims. And big shout out to the crowd in LA. I was tweeting about how it's really important to have a crowd that's sort of on fire, but oh my God, Alex Caceres' style, his you know, sort of mix of karate, and just his flair in the cage. Like, dude has big time superstar written all over him. To see him take this fight on short notice and to dominate the way he did.
Dude, he dropped him in like a minute or two, like the first 2 minutes.
Drop to win? No.
Dropped Miller.
To win?
No, he dropped him.
Oh, in the fight? Yeah, yeah.
Knocked him down early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
super
really early.
Like, that's what got me. I set up a little bit
Yeah.
because I'm watching it
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a cool fight. And then like he dropped him. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit! Like,
Like-
he already put him down.
Like, and I mean, huge kicks, huge punches, incredible cardio, somebody who obviously stays in shape the entire time. And I was even more impressed by the armbar escape that he had. And to see, like, oh man, and I hate to be biased as you know, as a media member, but I wanted to see him win that fight. I've talked to him on several occasions by text. You know, like to, you know, hopefully we'll be going to be talking to him in a second after the show and releasing that to everybody soon. But just to see him get into that armbar, and I was like, oh man, like he fought this incredible fight, and here it is down the drain. And I don't know what happened or how he was able to shake. Like, I thought that he was in crazy pain by the way he was like shaking and moving around, but he was getting out of the armbar and he was able to pop out of it.
That's the best way to get out of some of those is just
like freaking out. It looked like he was just freaking out.
it just unlocks, you know, it makes the person have to like struggle with it, and you just need like this much room sometimes just to get out. And so that's what
he popped out, and he was able to survive that third round, which got a little tough for him too. But yeah, definitely get the Coco high kick for him in that one, man. That was a great fight. And
he's got to get somebody good next. I mean,
Yeah.
a bigger name.
Yeah.
Cole Miller's a big name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he stepped in for BJ Penn, huge. So by stepping in short notice, Dana White's made no thing about not loving that. It's one of his favorite things of a fighter to just step in on short notice and to win. How he did.
Impressive win.
He's got to get somebody good, and I totally agree with. He's had star quality since he started on Tough, man. He came out in the damn Bruce Lee
Yes.
uniform. We're all like,
And I mean, like, and that's
this guy, man.
and that's what you
Like,
want.
yeah.
If you're Dana White, and if you're UFC, that's what you want. You want people who have that star quality about them, who are showmen, who are going to give you that little bit extra on top of being great in the octagon too. So
When you say a little bit extra, do you mean singing his walkout song at the post-fight press conference in Chicago a few years ago?
yep, a little bit extra.
Awesome, man.
Little
They're
bit
like, "What'd you
extra.
walk out to?" And he just starts singing it. Everybody's like, "Awesome,
Like
man.
I mean,
You're
just
awesome.
that type of personality,
Yes,
man.
man.
That type of personality. That's
You're awesome, man.
That's
Yeah.
superstar written all over him.
So
man.
excited to see who he fights next, man. I think it'll be
It'll be tough. I'm guessing it's gonna be tough.
Yep, and that's what he needs. That's what he
Mm-hmm.
needs. All right, so the low kick goes to us. It goes to everybody. It goes to the fans. It goes to your neighbor who watched it, your mom and dad and friend, sister, brother. It goes to us for having to wait to see who Dan Henderson is gonna fight next. That's the low kick this week. It goes to us.
I like it.
He had a big knockout. I am so not happy, but I'm okay. So he had a big knockout win over Hector Lombard, but now I'm like, and then he says he's gonna retire. I don't believe him. I don't believe him because he always says that. Who's he gonna fight now? He's 2-3 in his last 5. Once again, I'm not excited, like, because I knew this was gonna happen, that he was gonna get this win. It was gonna the word resurgence is going to come out at some point in the next week out of his mouth, saying like, I switched camps, or I'm joining this place now, or I brought this person in, and we're gonna see what happens next. I don't want to see what happens next. I don't hate Dan Henderson either. I'm just like, he's one of those veterans that like, I don't get excited to see him fight anymore. Maybe because I have seen him fight so long. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was happy to see him win, but also, like you said, not happy because of what it's gonna do for him and his mentality. Like you said, you know what his mentality is. Like that retirement talk is gonna go out the window real quick. And if he is able to retire after this and go out that way, to me, that's storybook ending. Like that's how you should go out. You know, nobody wants to see you go out on a whimper. Everybody wants to see you go out with your hand raised. So, if there was a time for him to retire, it'd be now. It'd be now. And I mean, and it's not to say that he's still like, leave that idea in people's head that you still have some ability, that you still have, that you can still fight, that you're still dangerous. Like, leave that in people's heads. You don't want to go out on your back or getting submitted or getting beat up for 3 rounds and then say that's it. You know, like you should go out on top, especially for somebody who is as old as he is. Like, it's not like he's 32 and contemplating retirement. This dude is 45,
something like that.
Yeah,
something like that,
man.
man.
But yeah, it's
His division's too hard. It's too competitive towards the top. He's ranked number 13 before this fight.
Yeah.
So this win's not gonna put him in the top 10. Man, I just think he'd be more effective as a coach, which is not a bad thing, or be more effective as something else in the sport other than fighting before it's too late. Before you fight and get hit so much that you can't even be anything else in the sport.
right.
So that's maybe too, like, I think some of these guys that go on to be fighters, or that are fighters, should go on to be like judges and like things that we need, so they can judge a fight accurately.
Right.
So yeah, I just wasn't excited. And then I thought the downward elbow is cheap. That's like the Bisping. I like it though, but like this is the second time or third time he's done that. Like Bisping was out cold. That was just, he admitted that was on purpose. This one too, man. Like you know your shot puts people out, and then you come with this downward flying elbow. Like, how is I don't know. I'm like, nah.
That's dangerous.
I'm all about the crazy
the violence.
For some reason, that one I don't like.
Yeah, no, it was a bit much, and I was talking to my wife as we were watching the fights, and I was saying the only time really in MMA that I get nervous is when I see somebody get hit to the point where they're down, and then get hit again and their head bounces off the mat. Like, that's where you do major damage to someone. Not that shot that knocks you out or that knocks you down. It's that recoil of bouncing off the mat. Right. And to see somebody fly down with, all their weight behind it with the elbow, and to then cause that, the shot from the elbow and then the bounce off the mat, like that's rough. Yep. And I hate seeing stuff like that. That's when I get nervous about, fighters in the sport.
All right, let's move on to That's Some Bull Kick. So, this week's That's Some Bull Kick goes to Uriah Faber's last two title-holding opponents, Dominick Cruz and Renan Barão. They get the bull kick. You guys should let him win just one time.
Yep.
Just let Faber win one time,
so we can move on.
You guys are assholes, man. Like, that's real bull kicky. Like, you can't just give him a win. I mean, this guy's he's lost 7 title shots. His last 7 title shots, he's lost. Now he's like I said here. Now he's never gonna get another chance at a title. He's never gonna get another chance at a title again.
No, forever the bridesmaid
until he does again.
Yeah.
Like, in the end of the year, he'll get another title shot.
And man,
but like, I just like watched that, and I'm like, it was bad.
And he's old. He's old, not old, but he's older at this point. And just
and he's old. Like, we're just.
But I mean, like, he's 37, and that's not old.
It's old in the sport.
It's sports old.
In the sport.
Yes, especially in this sport.
Yep.
And for somebody to have as many shots as he's had and to come up short each and every time, it sucks because he's such a likable person. We've had a chance to meet him, talk to him, see him in action, and it sucks because you want to see him win. And like I was as I was watching the fights, I'm just like, man, is this it? Is this the time? Is this when it's gonna happen? And then the first round, about 45, 50 seconds in, and Cruz is already dancing around, and I said, I don't know how anybody's gonna beat this guy. I don't know how, especially not Faber, but I don't know how anybody's gonna beat Cruz in his like.
Dude, it's when he ducks under and then he switches stances.
Like in the way he was walking like I walk. Yeah. Like, with my knee in a brace. Like, he sort of has this like lurch sort of thing, and then he sort of, and it's like super slow, just like kind of lurching at you, and then before you know it, he's turned, switched stances, and is like dancing around, like flying around. And I mean, like, you can't simulate that. You can't prepare for that. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to touch him. Like, who's going to touch him? Who's going to touch him?
I don't know right now, because there's a lot of write-ups this weekend about, Cody Garbrandt, and if he, in a couple of years or a year and a half works his way up, and if Cruz is still a champion, is he going to have enough for him? And I'm like, power-wise, these people have enough for him, but it's just catching him and countering that, which is impossible.
Mighty Mouse is our only hope.
Mighty Mouse, you're our only hope. That sounds like a fucking commercial.
A shirt.
Like a shirt. Mighty Mouse, you're our only hope.
That's it, though. Who else? Who else? Like that? Yeah, his style is ridiculous. The only thing that's gonna get him is, and man, like I don't. When
Floyd Mayweather and Dominick Cruz.
When you see him leading up to the fights, he's such an asshole. Like, God, like just seeing him in the way him and Faber were going at it,
smug,
before,
man.
like,
Smug. He is.
And then after the fight, and hearing him talk after the fight, he's so gracious. And then you realize that, or at least I think that it's more of an act. His whole smug thing.
I think his smug thing's an act.
Yeah. And to see him like talking afterwards, you're like, man, this dude. he's not even a bad dude. He's just fucking great. Like, and
yeah.
you know, he never lost his title to begin with. You know, recovered from the injuries. You know, multiple knee tears.
That's what I was thinking of during the fight. Like, how are you even still moving around when you've had like multiple knee reconstructive surgeries and you're still just like bloop doop 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 jumping
I tore
around?
my patella, and you see me. I'm walking around. I don't even want to do anything. Like, I don't want to try to.
You need
jump.
that rehab person.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
they did, I need to get them out here to help me out, because I'll start my rehab this week. So I need to figure out whoever helped him out, because that's what I need to be able to do that. And because that dude looks like he hasn't lost a step, he hasn't lost one bit of athleticism. He's just as fast as he's ever been, and I don't know how anyone is going to beat him if he continues to fight that style.
And I don't know what fight also that I'm gonna get excited for now with Faber fighting next. I'm not. And he even admitted, you know, he talked about Cody Garbrandt a lot, you know. So I think he knows his time's up. And I could see him actually retiring and just going full in on the gym or full in on something else. He's got 1 million brands that he's in charge of. I believe he's got some part in that MMA marketing, some marketing company, Torque. Just all kinds of businesses that flourish. So I feel like he's better there now than he is a fighter.
And I feel like I also feel like he'd be a great coach too.
Yeah.
Like,
we've seen him coach tough like 5 times.
Right. Right. So yeah, I think he'd be great with whatever he decides to do. So the arrow is definitely, the life arrow is pointed up for him. The fighting arrow, not so much.
No.
Not so much.
All right, man. So I didn't really have anything to get weird this week. I didn't watch. Well, hey, so we can say this. Last time we talked about Game of Groans, about how it's so weird, and I just was like, meh. We're back to falling asleep this episode during the first. It was a
little slow.
So we're back. So then we're back. My natural instincts to take a nap during Game of Thrones and then wake up at the end when the credits are going up, just like right on cue.
Oh, man. So did you,
dude? I watched the part where little girl gets stabbed, but maybe it was a dream or wasn't an odd dream. I don't know.
I don't know what it was yet.
So I was like, I don't care because I don't care about her. And then what else did I watch? Oh, so they brought back Dog. Is that his name? Hound.
Yes. The Hound. Yes. Yes, they
Dog.
did. Dog.
The Hound. Same thing. So, but I don't like him either. And he's building houses on like an Amish country or something. And then I fell asleep. And then I wake up and apparently they killed everybody in that community. But then then I get excited because I see previews for next week, and that's when like the Queen and the Harpy people are like fighting, and she's like, I choose violence. And there's like a big guy behind her, and I'm like, that's Dog.
Nope.
And my fiance's like, no, that person's been behind her like so many episodes. That's not him. I'm like,
that's the mountain. That's the mountain.
See, I thought it'd been cool to have them reintroduce the Hound as that guy, but she's like, no, he hates her. Like they hate each other, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
They have an extensive backstory
at that point, and I've sadly to say I've watched the show, and I can't tell you the backstory. Like that's how much like. I don't think I really like Game of Thrones.
I got a weird topic, and we'll segue from Game of Thrones into other places.
Awesome.
But, did you see the part where I believe her name is Yara? It's Theon's sister, and they were like at the brothel thing, and but okay, are you familiar with who Theon is, aka Reek?
Yeah, he got it.
Yep, cut off.
Yep.
So.
All right.
His sister.
Yeah, she just got
super tough.
She got kicked. The uncle took over instead of her, right? For their people.
Yes,
right.
At the Iron Islands.
Yeah.
So
she's mad as hell now, right?
A little bit. But they had to run. They had to run away because
they stole all the boats.
Kill him. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
So
I got you.
What I'm gonna segue to this and make it a little weird is that I find her oddly attractive.
You're disgusting.
Oddly, and that's what I wanted to get into. women for us, women who you find who aren't exactly
I should have filtered that
attractive.
better. Sorry, that was so harsh.
who you find attractive that other people probably wouldn't.
Right.
And I think that she is. There's something about her, man. There's something about her. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's her the way she carries herself.
I don't know.
But I think she's kind of cute.
Yeah. Like you said, everybody thinks different people think different people are attractive. So I'm on the other end of the spectrum. So
can you give me somebody who you think is attractive that people normally wouldn't?
Man, can I give you some? I can't think of, man. I'm so bad at when you I put on the spot.
I can think of tons. I'll just shout out a few names.
'Cause mine are pretty. I feel like the people and I joke around with everybody. Like my Hollywood girlfriend would be this if I was in another life. But I think they're all pretty traditionally pretty. So I'm trying to think of somebody that is not. You know what though? Honestly, man, sometimes I think Rihanna is one of those girls that not everybody thinks is pretty, but it is.
Very.
So
Very.
maybe that's one where that might be mixed reviews. I don't know, but then again, probably what are you talking about?
Yeah, I think
Rihanna.
most people probably think that she's hot.
No, so I don't know, man. I can't think of anybody.
Amy Schumer, what you think of her?
No, and I don't personally for me, but I don't really like her. So for me, I have to like you, in your character or the
like your personality.
Yeah, that's for real for me. Okay. Look at that, that's for real for me. I have to like your personality. Your personality has to be pretty first. It's not about the exterior. It's what counts on the inside.
Let's see.
I just ruined it by laughing like that at the end of the whole spiel. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's nice," and I'm like,
"Dick."
I really meant that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't think of anybody. Trying to think of actresses or weird actresses.
Paula Deen.
What? No.
Okay.
No.
Not Paula Deen. She can cook.
That's great. That's I mean, the fact that she can cook, and see for me though, I'm not even that's not sexy to me. That she can cook some biscuits and gravy.
Big boy, it's hot for me.
I know I love food too. I smash some food, but I'm trying to think. I'm still trying to think of oh, God. So not getting political at all, because I vote for who I want to vote for. I don't really care what side. So just throw that out there. Mm-hmm. Back in the day though, early 2000s, Ann Coulter.
Yes, I'll give you that one.
And it was because it was her bitchiness and her cutthroat. I don't give a fuck about you. I'll say what I want, and and I don't like the racism. I don't like so obviously some of the stuff she said. I did not agree with 100%. And I'm like, you can't say that. But the fact that she was saying it, I thought that was very attractive. I was like, ooh man, the silver tongue, sharp tongue, So I don't agree with anything that she's, most that she said, but I just thought she was one that I thought was kind of hot. But I was I know that people were I don't know.
The who's the woman who I got her. God. I feel bad for this one, but she's on my list of people that I like who is not classically attractive, and probably her attitude and the way she carries herself probably makes people hate her. But Nancy Grace, I like Nancy Grace, man. It's something about the look. And then what's the lady on
I can
MSNBC, the one with the black hair, kind of looks like she likes girls.
I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of MSNBC.
See, I got a lot of time now. I watch everything.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The news I watch. John Oliver last night's Today, or that his new show. I did a lot of Daily Show and Bill Maher.
Yes, love that show.
Yeah, not Bill O'Reilly. I watch those kind of news shows. The traditional news I'm not really up on. I want to point out that I think we need to be ready for our segment next week and have something set in stone. We do actually, because we're just talking about like who we think's hot now. Are we like fucking 13? Like,
Yes.
are we just like who? Like that's what happened to
Yeah.
this show. All right, man. I just want to make sure we just
Sometimes you just gotta regress. Sometimes you do.
we just did like. We just regressed. Do you have any like snack packs or like pudding in the like? Can we just
I got
like
cheese
regress
sticks.
all the way? See, that's a perfect like
Cheese
little
sticks.
kid snack, eating cheese sticks, saying like, "Who do you think is hot?" That's not really hot.
This is
Yep.
guy talk.
Yep.
This is guy talk. So we just let you guys into a little session of guy talk.
Comments below, and thank you guys last
And-
week for all the comments, man. Like
Oh,
we've
yeah,
been
tons.
mentioning that. Like that was probably the most comments we've got on the show ever. They're awesome. I'm trying to get better with them too, responding back. So please keep them coming. Put down who you think who do you think is attractive,
Guy or girl.
guy or girl.
Give us guys
Like,
too.
that
I'll
maybe
comment
not.
on a guy. I don't care.
I've always said I give credit where credit's due.
Yes.
I'm not a hater.
Yes.
Like
Nope.
Not
Not
Alright.
at all.
So let's talk about some upcoming stuff.
Sure.
UFC Fight Night, Saturday, June 18th, Fox Sports 1. That'll be right before we do our next show, so we'll be able to talk about it a little bit. Not a whole lot to talk about, not that excited about it, but I am excited about Rory McDonald taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, number 1 ranked, number 2 ranked. Big fight for Wonderboy.
I think it's a bigger fight for McDonald, man.
Well, I think it's yeah. So it's a big fight for them in different ways. So for Wonderboy, this is where we see like, was Hendricks a fluke, or are you just really that killer
Right.
that just picks apart people, ex champions? Yeah. So and then for Rory McDonald, it's like you're coming off some ginormous fights, Robbie Lawler and everybody else, some of the best fights of those years. Like what do you think about this Wonderboy coming up and just trying to take over your division? You're gonna have that. So they both got to prove it. I see Thompson winning.
Wow.
Okay, I mean that's
I don't know. I don't know yet.
because it was so lopsided and decisive and obvious against Hendricks. It
Yeah.
blew me away, and I don't think that was a fluke. I think it's his style that's very hard to match up as well. And Rory McDonald, Hendricks hits harder than McDonald.
I'm gonna go with Thompson too.
Okay, good. All
Only because I think Rory is getting is turned into a young version of Faber. Like that guy who's right there, but just isn't quite good enough to break into holding the belt, or being that next great champion. And I think that's just sort of that's where he's at right now. I could see that being his career too, because especially with the talent in that division, I think that he's just not quite as talented as some of the other people. Nothing against.
Surprised
saying
that he
he's
never got the title.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he always was right there too.
But he's young too though. Younger. So he has time. He has time on his side, fortunately. But I just kind of wonder what that does for his psyche, to see a fighter who is sort of on that cusp all the time.
Well, he's a vampire, so he doesn't have any feelings. So if it bothered him, we wouldn't know about it. I only say that I like him a lot, but
his lack
his
of
stoic
personality.
Jesus
at
sometimes
yeah.
too. I'm like,
Yeah.
you are scary. That makes him scary too.
Yeah.
I like it though. I just
Yeah.
joke about it, but I like it. But
I liked his
You never know if
interview.
he was mad or happy. I mean,
I liked his interview that he had with Ariel Helwani a little while ago, because you finally got to see a little bit of personality and see him talk a little bit more. It's almost like the guys that you don't hear speak a whole lot, when you finally get that chance to start hearing them talk, you appreciate them more and you sort of understand a little bit more. But yeah, when you don't really get that opportunity, it kind of sucks. So you end up calling them vampires and stuff.
Yeah, I like vampires too, though. I mean, it's cool. So, co-main event: Cowboy Down Cerrone fights Patrick Cote. It's Cowboy's second fight as a welterweight. I'm just like, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, I like Cowboy. I think I'm just like, he's just fights so much, and like he's everywhere now. Like even the other podcasts I listen to, he's on there.
Yeah.
He's over here. He's
Isn't he
everywhere.
starting his own or?
I think he
hosting
did.
his own,
I just saw
or-
that I love Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's gonna be on an episode of that.
Yeah.
Like, and then Patrick Cote. I've never really liked Patrick Cote, so this fight just doesn't get me excited. So maybe I shouldn't take it out on Cowboy. I liked Cowboy at lightweight, but it wasn't. He was one of those two that was like the theme of today. You know, getting close to the top but never getting to the top.
Right.
So Cowboy for me probably beats Cote pretty easily.
I think so too.
So that's really the only two big fights on that card. I kind of looked it up and down and didn't see a whole lot of other fights that I was excited about or big names. So yeah, that's about that.
And I
don't know.
I kind of feel like this card is placed in a sort of a lull before you get to July.
Yeah.
It's
Who isn't fighting in July?
So we're gonna put them on this. June
That's
card.
exactly right. That's probably why you're just like, all right, like it is what it is, man. July is jam packed, like, and we're gonna get into that next episode.
Yep.
We're also gonna get into the segment is your favorite, shooting shit about shirts.
Yes. I can't wait
Next
to see my shirt.
episode, I'm excited about mine too. I just like it, man. I like
the shirt today.
Thank you, man. I got it a few weeks ago.
You gotta show everybody.
It's well, all right. Hold on, let me put the mic down.
The Thor special. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's from this Flex Comics company.
Yeah,
I like.
You went kind of Marvel. I went DC.
I
Not
see that.
planned.
No.
Not planned. But yeah, I got
Just
the
a
DC
Thor,
shirt
Mighty
on there.
Thor. I like it, man. That's what I noticed too. I walked in. I'm like, we're nerds,
Right.
man. Like, will some comic book company or a brand sponsor us?
Please.
Like, literally next week too. Like, I haven't seen X-Men Apocalypse
I
yet.
watched it.
We can't talk about it today, so
Okay.
we're gonna talk about it next week,
Yes, we
which
will.
makes sense with everything. It'll fit.
Yep.
Like, literally every episode we talk about like comics or comic book movies or nerd stuff or Game of Thrones. Like, seriously, if you guys know a company or you own a company that would like your logo on the bottom right here,
Yeah,
right
like-
over here,
Yeah. Right next to the neon.
yeah, right in the middle, who knows, we'll figure it out. We'll revamp what it looks
work.
like.
Yep, we'll make it work.
Hook it up.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it.
I think so too, man.
Analog Arcade Bar, we miss you. We'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Yes. Next episode.
See you in 2
we will
weeks.
be there.
302 Brady Street, Davenport, Iowa, downtown Davenport. Get there, get some tokens. They're doing tournaments now.
Yeah, I know.
I believe it's because of us, I think, that they're doing these tournaments.
Mhm.
I'm just going to give myself the credit and you that,
Yep.
we had the greatest Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter tournament ever.
We really did. It was fun, man.
So now they're just like, we got to do this. We can't, we got to keep going.
realize the power of the tournament, man.
Yeah. Neon Energy Drink is complete and done in the system. www.glowenergy.neonenergyclub.com. Neon. I noticed too in the other shows, like yours is always facing perfectly, and mine's like turned this way. So I'm gonna work on that when we get back to analog
Not
too.
today. I was kind of off with it.
Twitter at Kick and Makeup's the shows. At Hybrid MMA is mine. At Jeremy JD Dorsey is Jeremy's. We're on Instagram. This is YouTube. Click and subscribe and like. www.kickandmakeup.com is the website. I'm the American Hybrid Nick Cunningham.
Apologize for looking at my phone so much, trying to set some stuff up
Yeah.
that you will benefit from. So
Yeah, it's true.
Keep it locked.
That's
man.
right.
Keep it locked.
Jeremy JD Dorsey doing business while he's on the show. This is the Kick and Makeup show. Remember, don't solve it in the streets, take it to the cage, and kick and make up.
Is my elbow ashy? A little bit.
Just the knee is a little bit. That's all right, but it's okay.